family.
What do you think is the hardest part about getting to know your spouse again after deployment?
You just have to understand it takes time. It's not a thing you just gonna go back in the house and it be like it was when you left. It's almost like we go into a time machine when we go on deployment. And then when we get back out of the time machine, we want to act like, or not act, but we want things to be like they were.
Resume.
When they left. But they're not, just like we moved on and grew and became new people. Everybody at home did too, so just getting used to that is probably the biggest thing.
I don't think people see that. I think civilians or people in the outside world, they see that this service member coming home and they see the smiles and they see the hugs and the crying and the tears, and they automatically just be like, oh, I'm so happy they're back together again. But it's a real process from the kids just getting used to that parent being back and being able to do stuff again. They may be at different ends of the spectrum. Like they may not want that parent to do as much because they're not used to them doing it. Or they may be like Taylor right now. Like Taylor is not really letting him out of her sight. If he tries to leave the room, she's got her hand in his maybe, or she's holding on in some way, or she's following soon behind. I think honestly the biggest thing for me is it's hard for me to have patience because I do want to resume. I want to hit play. Like you hit pause when you go to the bathroom watching a movie. I do want to just go ahead and hit play, and it's not really like that. It's like when you come back to the remote, you have to push rewind. And it's not like you're starting the entire movie over, but you're definitely not starting off right where you ended. What do you think are some things that help you get back into the normal living?
One of the things is that we're not going to get to do this time is going back to somewhat of a routine. What I'm saying is, because we leaving and we get ready to do this move to Japan and all this stuff, it makes it kind of harder to go back to what you're used to, doing this completely different thing after I get back. I think it make the transition a little harder. It's just something different. So this is first time we doing this as a family as far as moving out of the area. But yeah, I mean, it's something we're gonna deal with and we'll go from there. But everybody's different. I think that's the other thing people gotta remember. There ain't no magical formula of families, military families, or whatever the case may be if you've been away from your family for a while. Each individual family, they different. It's gonna take some different stuff for that particular group to do what they gotta do to get back to normal. Like I said, for us, it's gonna be something different than for anybody else out there. We just gotta do what our family needs to do to try as much as we can to get back to normal, get back to somewhat of a routine. What would you expect it to be like when we come back?
I honestly think that most spouses wanted to resume, like continue. We don't realize the time difference because we've been waiting each day. We've been counting down with the kids. You know, we talk when we can, we video chat when we can, and our lives didn't really, to make such a drastic spin as y'all. You go from the home life and then you go to wherever you're going to serve at, and everything about your life changes. Like you're constantly in your work area or your workspace. You're constantly surrounded by the people that you work with. Whereas as a spouse, we wake up the next day right after y'all leave and we take the kids to school. We make their lunches. We turn into G.I. Joe or G.I. Jane, and we are still living in our lives. So we expect kind of like when you do come home, they're gonna be so happy and everything's gonna go back to normal. And I think that is one of the biggest shockers is that, like it looks like he's registering it slower, or he looks like he's overwhelmed, or he doesn't really know what to do right now in this moment. And it's because their schedules have totally changed. So I think for me, that's the biggest thing, because we keep living the same. It's like Groundhog Day for us. And we just kind of want that to end, and we want to wake up and finally get that new day. And it doesn't happen like that. And I think maybe that's the clash that happens when everybody is back together again, is that we've been living two totally different lives for quite some time. That if you don't know, you're gonna have to have some patience, and not just saying patience, but really doing it. Then you could get messed up.
I would just say it takes a little. It really just take time. I know it sounds like it's something I keep saying. It sounds like it's something easy to say, but this is not something that you just jump right back into, even after 2 weeks, and feel like, oh man, everything is we back to where we were. It takes a little time to get back to that. You can't just jump in and, like you were just saying, where you get into y'all get into a routine, and then I get introduced back into that mix, and I think it's gonna go smooth from that point on. Not necessarily. Some stuff will. Like, I think just interacting with the kids, I think that from the last 2 deployments I've been on, when I come back and interact with them, I think it goes back to normal really quick. But as far as like schedule, as far as like the stuff that we trying to do every day, that stuff it takes some time to get back used to. Little stuff like when we eat dinner and we getting done with our meal or whatever, and I'm in here trying to do some stuff to clean up the kitchen, but the kids are probably used to cleaning up the kitchen after meals and that type of stuff, taking the trash out, getting back to small stuff, that stuff people don't really think about, that you do every day if you're not used to seeing this life. So when you leave and you come back and that type of stuff, the routine that regular people have, you can get really comfortable in that, and then to live the life that we live in, when you gone sometimes and then you come back and try to get back into that, it take a little time just to mesh back into that. Like I said, I think we doing it. We off to the start. I think we off to a good start. There's always some parts where you like, that wasn't happening before I left. What is that? You do what you gotta do to deal with it, and you move on. Keep saying that's where we at now, and that's what we gonna do. I mean, it's definitely something you should pray about, to try to, like with everything, obviously, but I think you should pray about trying to have a good reunion, have a good reintroduction to yourself into your family dynamic. It's a big deal. You coming out. They give you these classes on the ship. Yeah, going through these. One of the classes that they talk about on the ship, where they tell people, hey, when you get back into the house, just know you're not gonna go there and take over. You're not gonna go there and immediately start running the show as soon as you walk through the door. Don't expect you to do that, because that's just gonna mess your family dynamic up. If your wife has been calling the shots since the day you left, you go in and see what she been doing, see how she been running things, and then you try to give her input, and y'all talk together about how y'all want to run it from that point. Just stuff like that. You pray that you have patience and you have some wisdom and some understanding as to how to reintroduce yourself. Because you just go in and, hey, I'm here. Y'all do what I say. Hey, or I don't care, or whatever the case may be. You kind of asking for trouble. So, yeah, you gotta have some wisdom. Gotta have some patience with that, and no better way to get that other than praying. So, yeah, I definitely think that helps.
Do you think you returned to the same person you left?
In some ways, yeah. In some ways, no.
What do you mean?
I mean, and we've been gone almost a year, so obviously people gonna grow, and they gonna change in a year. If you leave somebody for a week, you probably come back to the same person. you leave somebody for a month or 2 months, yeah, you probably gonna come back to the same person. But that much time, yeah, I think things are gonna be different. I don't think they're gonna be drastically different. But yeah, overall, there will be some changes.
Like this,
I don't know what
this would be
probably-
my thing. Is I feel like when he did come home, he's having a hard time tapping into finding the softer side again and using his soft, kind voice. I feel like sometimes when he talks, he seems like you're just at work, and I'd be wondering if it's hard to clock out.
Okay, so, well, it depends on the situation. Yeah, if you get home and you tell, just an example, tell a child, hey, take this trash up. And then you have to tell them that 2 times, additional times. That third time, it's easy to go back into what I was doing on the ship. 'Cause believe it or not, I was doing the same thing there. You tell somebody one thing, and then sometimes you have to go back 2 times and get your point across. I don't yell at our kids or nothing like that. I definitely don't talk to them like I would talk to somebody on the ship, but at least not the words. But the tone, yeah, it comes there sometimes. Like I said, it's not a yelling tone or nothing like that, but it's a different tone than I'm talking in now. I guess the biggest thing in that one is, yeah, it is kind of hard to turn off if you've been doing that for a year. When you get back, it's not the easiest thing to be like, oh yeah, as soon as I cross the door, oh, that's gone. If that's what you've been holding on to, or that's the way you've been living for a year, it's kind of hard to turn off as soon as you get home.
What advice would you give me?
The same thing I've been saying. You gotta communicate with each other. Obviously for us, and then for anybody else, I would be getting this advice too. Yeah, you gotta talk to each other, and every situation gonna be different. Everybody's dynamic gonna be different. For us, we got 4 kids, so obviously that's gonna be thrown into the equation. We doing this major move right now. That's another stress that we got going on. Just communication and patience. That's all. Understanding where each other coming from. If there is frustrations and stuff like that, hey, you gotta communicate that and then do your best to work through it.
So this is where we are now, and hopefully each time we come on, we'll be able to share something or a new experience or something just going through this. As of right now, we are still headed to our destination. We are taking a pit stop at home just to get back and see the family and eat a couple of good meals and have some good times before we leave out. So we will see you guys later next time. Bye.